90% of the clinical trials fail.
I was very skeptical.
We had a really small window to get these shipments delivered.
It entirely changes the way you do clinical research.
If we couldn't figure out a way to do it, the trial wasn't going to go forward.
It is a life-saving medication. It is much more than just a package.
In general, clinical trials are change in motion.
Clinical research is all about the study of medication, new medication that's never been tested. We're a niche business in the packaging and labeling environment for pharmaceutical industry, specifically in clinical research. It's all about strategic change, and can we adapt to that?
A competitor had told one of their clients that they weren't able to help with the study, and no one in the normal, traditional sense could. But they did know a company in Fargo that they could recommend for this one trial. It was for children. The children needed to be home all the time with a caregiver.
The requirements of the drug were that they needed to be dosed 3 times a day, morning, midday, and evening, and the drug was stable for 24 hours, so they had to get a new shipment every single day.
The challenge was, how do we supply drug to these patients, not in a clinical site, all over the country in a very, very tight time window?
In the development of this study, we're now going to do something that's never been done before.
The complexity here was really logistics. It was complex logistics. So we had temperature to control, we had time to control, and destinations to control.
The product had to be reconstituted, and once reconstituted, it only had 48 hours of shelf life. Here's this wall that we've got to get over because there's patients on the other side of the wall that have to have this medication, and without us, it's not going to happen.
We needed a partner.
Bob had contacted me and basically gave me an overview of the study and what it was going to involve.
Now the question is, can UPS work with us to deliver medication where we don't know the stability of the product, where we have to really understand the relationship of the patient privacy, the home health nurse. We're getting into the regulatory aspects that we haven't really dealt with before.
It requires a level of real trust and accountability.
If you're sending a computer and the patient's not there and you leave it right at the doorstep, or a book, that's okay. But when you're sending medication that's going to expire in 48 hours, that's not okay.
Missing a dose, those 4 hours could be horrendous.
As a father, you want to do everything you can to make sure that this study is successful.
We all work together in a large team. We're getting things done. The scientists are doing their part, CSM's doing their part, UPS is doing their part.
The partnership. This is our business.
We make a difference, and not just to the patient. At the bedside is a mother, a father, a son, a daughter.
I'm looking to create the best possible quality of life for people who have these rare diseases.
We had a plan, and we executed.
In our next drug study, we actually recommended CSM.
When you can provide a service to somebody and make them extremely happy, that's just a great feeling.
This case study is a perfect example of the difference we can make. And it's this platform that's going to change the way we do clinical research in the future.